So the integral transform actually used for solving partial differential equations. You must know what is the partial differential equations. We studied about the wave equation, equation of sound, equation of heat, equation, Laplace's equation. So in these types of after solving in solution of these types of partial differential equations, we have to use uh, Fourier transform or integral transform. So first of all, we must know what is the differential equations. The differential equations is the equation which consists of the differential derivative. Okay, differential coefficient or derivatives. So if there are single dependent variable and single independent variable, then it will be ordinary differential equations. So and on the other hand, if the differential equations consist of a single or more than one dependent variable with respect to more than one independent variable, is called partial differential equations. So at the time of solving, we have to use integral transform because the differential equation, the solution of these differential equations uh, depends upon the nature of the boundary conditions. So conditions, after assigning the boundary conditions, we get the general solution. So the facility with which the transform f of s is the transform, and s is the transform parameter, can be used converted to the original function f of x. After solving the differential equation, we get the y equals to f of x. You must know. So this after solving and assigning the boundary conditions from the partial differential equations, we get the original function f of x. So first of all, what is the actually integral transform? First of all, so after define for the definition of integral transform, we have to use. So the definition of integral transform is the integral transform f of s. This is the uh, function transform function with parameter s of a function f of x. This is the original function f of x. So integral transform of this function is equal to what? F of s. And this can be written as the integral limit will be a definite with a definite integral a to b f of x. This is the original function f of x and kernel of f of x. That means ksx. The this kernel will consist of the with the parameter and x combinedly. Okay. So this definite integral is called actually integral transform f of s of a function f of x. Remember. So if you want to define the Laplace transform or Fourier transform, suppose we have a Fourier sun transform. What is Fourier transform? Now, what is Fourier transform? Transform. So Fourier transform is in a special form of integral transform. Now, for this, the Fourier Fourier transform, complex transform with the kernel ksx e to the power is. This is the exponential function with the parameter s and variable x. Then Fourier transform can be written as Fourier transform can be written as I inverted to converted to f because of Fourier. So this equals to f of s. This equals to what will be integral limit will be what? If you put in the exponential function, uh, the integral limit will be converted to minus infinity to plus infinity, and 1 by root over twice pi minus infinity to plus infinity f of x e to the power is e to the power is x dx. This is the formula for Fourier transform. And for inverse Fourier transform. Now, what will be the formula for inverse Fourier transform? Inverse Fourier transform can be written as what will be this f of x equals to what will be uh, if we write this as an inversion 1 by root over twice pi 1 by root over twice pi integral limit will be similar minus infinity to plus infinity and here will be f of s e to the power minus I s x dx. This is the inverse Fourier transform for the kernel e to the power is x. Remember it, this will be parameter not x, this will be ds. So for the Fourier transform, we get e to the power is x with respect to dx, original variable, independent variable x, but here with respect to parameter, remember it. So inverse Fourier transform can be written as with this formula. Now you must know this isx, e to the power isx, e to the power isx can be written as cos sx plus I sin sx in complex form. Okay. So there are two types of Fourier transform. One is Fourier sine transform and other is Fourier cosine transform. So now Fourier sine transform. Sine transform. So Fourier sine transform can be written as like this. F of Fourier sine transform of f of x can be written as this is the this S for Fourier sine transform. This S for Fourier sine transform, and it can be written as just from I am writing from this from here because this is the formula for Fourier transform. Now Fourier sine transform will be because e to the power isx consists of cos sx plus I sin sx. So Fourier sine transform can be written as from here Fourier sine transform f of x, this equals to 1 by root over twice pi. My integral limit will be same minus infinity to plus infinity, but this for sine transform you must know 0 to infinity. Okay, for sine transform what will be 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity, and the function will be what? F of x sine sx, f of x sine sx dx. This is the Fourier sine transform formula from here after converting to this. And in this integral minus infinity to plus infinity for sine, it will start from 0 to infinity. Remember it. The integral limit will be 0 to infinity. Now Fourier cosine transform. Fourier cosine. Similarly, Fourier cosine transform can be written as from here f. This will be c f of x. This equals to Fourier cosine transform of f of x can be written as like this: 1 by root over twice pi root over. Actually, if we want to write 1 by root over, then minus infinity to plus infinity. But if we write root over 2 by pi, then it will start from 0 to infinity. Okay. So root over 2 by pi and integral limit will be 0 to infinity. F of x cos sx dx. This is the Fourier cosine transform. So Fourier transform, what is Fourier transform? The Fourier complex transform with the kernel ksx equals to e to the power isx. This is actually exponential function with the parameter s and x. This is called kernel, okay, kernel of sx. So then the Fourier transform can be written as Fourier transform of this function, okay, this kernel f of x. This is equals to f of s. This is the Fourier transform of f of x. 1 by root over twice pi minus infinity to plus infinity f of x e to the power isx. This is the kernel dx and with respect to x. But if we want to find the inverse Fourier transform, f of x equals to 1 by root over twice pi and limit will be minus infinity to plus infinity. This f of x become what? F of s. This f of s come here. Okay, f of s, and it will be e to the power minus isx. And with respect to what? S. And s become independent variable here. S become independent variable, and in Fourier transform, x is the independent variable, because we must know exponential form of a complex number is e to the power isx equals to cos sx plus I sin sx. So there are two types of Fourier transform. One is a Fourier sine transform and Fourier cosine transform. Okay, if you use the sine, then it will become sine transform. That means this kernel e to the power isx become sin sx, and 0 to infinity, because we must know 1 by 2 into 1 by root over twice pi means what? Same, root over 2 by pi, because uh, by using the properties of definite integral, you must know minus infinity to plus infinity 1 by root over twice pi can be written as 2 divided by root over twice pi 0 to infinity. Okay, because this is the uh, actually these types of curve. Okay, this is why minus infinity to plus infinity can be written as 0 to infinity two times 0 to infinity. Okay, this is the normal curve. This is why. So Fourier sine transform for just using e to the power isx equals to what? Sine, and for Fourier cosine transform e to the power isx will be cos sx. Same. Okay, similar. The, so this is the actual definition of Fourier transform. Now this is the Fourier integral theorem. It can be states that the Fourier integral transform f of x equals to 1 by pi 0 to infinity minus infinity to plus infinity f of t cos u into t minus x dt du. There are actually independent variable, two types of independent variable. One is u and other is t. This is why there is double integral, and this is the improper double integrals. We know Fourier series for the function f of x in minus c to plus c is given by this. You must know from our previous lecture. This is the formula for Fourier series. A naught by 2. This is the A is the cos coefficient, where n equals to 1 to infinity and cos n pi x by c plus summation n equals to 1 to infinity b n sin n pi x by c. Because b naught equals to 0, because sin 0 equals to 0. This is why here a naught, an, and bn are given by this. A naught is the cos coefficient for n equals to 0. this, and n is the first coefficient for any values of n, and bn is the sign coefficient for any value of n. So substituting these values not n and bn in equation 1 in this Fourier series formula, we get this result. Okay, so 1 by 2 c minus c2 plus c f of t dt, and this summation 1 by c minus infinity minus c2 plus c f of t is common here, and cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. You must know cos a cos b plus sin a sin b formula what? Cos a minus b. Okay, cos a minus b formula. So you must know after common taking common and pi by c t minus x, we get t minus x. So this f of t will be another common here from these two terms. Then we get 1 plus 2 into, because 2 we are introducing 2 why? Because we have taken 1 by 2 as the common. If we multiply with these 2, 2 will be cancelled. We get only 1 by c, this 1 by c. Okay. So we get this series. Now, since cosine functions are even functions, you must know cos minus theta equals to what? Cos theta. So this expression can be written as 1 plus 2 summation n equals to 1 to infinity cos n pi by c t minus x equals to, can be written as what? N equals to minus infinity to plus infinity cos n pi t minus x. So this whole series can be written as like this. Now, therefore, this equation 2 becomes f of x equals to 1 by 2ic minus c2 plus c minus c2 plus c, this f of t, and this whole series can be written as this. Okay, minus summation minus infinity plus infinity cos n pi by c t minus x dt. This dt is this dt. Okay, so integration with respect to t. Now, so this summation, um, this summation can be written as pi by c, taking pi by c, introducing another pi in denominator, and pi will be cancelled, so we get the previous term. So let us assume that c increases indefinitely. Okay, so that we may get n pi by c equals to u and pi by c equals to what? Du. Then we get this, if c tends to infinity, then mean indefinite. If c tends to infinity, then this series, this term converted to pi by c summation minus pi infinity to plus infinity this. So introducing n pi by c equals to u and pi by c equals to du, we get this result. So this is the actually integral theorem of Fourier integral theorem. Remember it. So very important theorem for you. We have assumed the following conditions for f of x. Then there are 4 conditions for this f of x. This f of x is the actually original function. So f of x must be defined as a single value except the finite points minus c2 plus c. Okay, and single value function. And f of x be periodic outside minus c plus c with twice c. That means the period will be what? Period will be twice c. And f of x, the first derivatives, single derivatives of f of x are sectionally continuous, minus c2 plus c. And this is the actual interval. Within this interval, the function and the derivatives of that function will be sectionally continuous. That means not continuous at same interval or same uh, point. So it is called sectionally. So minus infinity to plus infinity, absolute value of this function, the integration of this absolute value converges, must be converges. That means f of x is absolutely integrable in minus infinity to plus infinity. If this integration is converges, then the function will be integrable for that. Okay, integrable for that. So now this is the actually Fourier integral theorem. So Fourier integral transform f of x, let f of x be a single valued function defined on minus c2 plus c for the period twice c. Okay, period will be twice c, and the f of dash x first derivatives and the original function f of x is sectionally continuous. Sectionally continuous. Sectionally continuous with f of x absolute value of this minus infinity plus infinity converges, then the function can be written as f of x equals to f of x equals to 1 by pi double integration 0 to infinity and minus infinity to plus infinity f of t cos t minus x dt du. Remember it, this dt, this t will be minus infinity to plus infinity, but this u will be from 0 to infinity. So this is the statement for the Fourier series, Fourier integral theorem, and we have proved it. So what will be the Fourier sine and cosine integral? This is the main Fourier integral theorem. Now Fourier sine and cosine integral. What will be the Fourier sine and cosine integral? Fourier sine and cosine integral from here. The Fourier sine integral can be written as f of x equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinity sine 0 to infinity sine ux du 0 to infinity f of t sine ut dt. Actually, cos a minus b formula can be written as cos a cos b. Cos a minus b formula what? Cos a minus b formula will be cos a cos b plus sin a sin b. So from this, for using this formula, we can the two part. We can find the two part of this. That means first of is cos part and other is what? Sine part. So this can be written as the sine transform. This is actually sine Fourier sine transform. So Fourier sine transform from here, just using this formula and taking sine part, and u is the u and t is the independent variable here. Now Fourier cosine transform. Fourier cosine transform can be written as, this is the f of s and this is the c for cosine, 2 by pi 0 to infinity, and this will become what? Cos ux du, cos ux du, and 0 to infinity. This will be f of t. Remember it, f of t, because here f of t. Okay, f of t cos ut dt. So we must remember that this Fourier sine and cosine transform, integral transform, comes from Fourier integral theorem. This is the main theorem. After from here cos a minus b, cos u a minus b formula, we must know that this is the cos u and cos cosine, sine transform and cosine transform. So remember this. There is a mistake. Cos, this will be cos u into t minus x. U into t minus x. So using this formula, cos a cos b plus sin a sin b, we get, you can divide it into two parts. One is Fourier sine transform, taking this one, that means sin ut and sin ux and sin ut. Okay, sin ux and ut. And another one is for cos, Fourier cosine transform, just cos. Okay, cos, and it comes from, these two formula comes from here. Very easy, easy formula for you. Okay, now you have to remember some integration, like this, some useful results for you, some useful integral, some useful integral. Suppose you must know 0 to infinity sin x by x, sin x by x equals to pi by 2. And another integral 0 to infinity some improper integral e to the power minus x square dx equals to root pi by 2. And another one is, this is the most important integration you have to remember. Now try to solve an example. So for the first example, express the function f of x. This is the piecewise function, and if f of x equals to 1, the domain will be absolute value of x will be less than equals to 1, and f of x equals to 0 when absolute value of x greater than 1 as a Fourier integral. We have to express this function as a Fourier integral, and hence we have to evaluate this. So the solution can be found by using Fourier integral theorem. We know uh, from Fourier integral theorem, you must know, we have proved this theorem. F of x can be written as f of x equals to 1 by pi 0 to infinity, and another one is minus infinity to plus infinity f of t of t cos u t minus x. Okay, du dt. This is the equation number one. Equation number one. Now replacing u by lambda, u by lambda from 1, because we have to find the another variable or parameter lambda in replace of u. So this can be written as f of x equals to 1 by pi 0 to infinity, another is minus infinity to plus infinity, f of t cos lambda t minus x d lambda dt. Just replacing. Okay, this equals to 1 by pi 0 to infinity and the limit of the given function f of x. Okay, limit will be what? 0 minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, minus 1 to plus 1, and f of t equals to, for this we get 1. So only 1 into cos lambda t minus x dt d lambda. Okay, now integrating with respect to dt, 1 by pi, because t limit what? Minus 1 to plus 1, 0 to infinity. Now using this integration. Okay, just integrating this, cos integration, what will be? Cos integration sine dividing with the coefficient of t, coefficient of t what? Lambda. Okay, and the limit will be, upper limit and lower limit will be minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, so from this line we can write 1 by pi 0 to infinity. If we put t equals to upper limit, t equals to 1, here we get sine 1 minus t equals to 1 lambda into 1 minus x divided by lambda, minus, for minus 1, what will be? Sine lambda minus 1 minus x divided by lambda. Okay, d lambda. This d lambda for this improper integral. Now this lambda can be taken 1 by 1 by pi 0 to infinity sine lambda 1 minus x minus sine, this will be what? Sine minus theta. If you take minus common, then it will become minus theta. Sine minus theta will be minus sine theta. So sine lambda 1 plus x divided by what will be? Lambda. Since sine minus theta equals to what? Sine theta. Okay. So you must know sine c plus sine d formula what? Sine c plus sine d formula after this line, this equals to 1 by pi 0 to infinity. Sin C plus sin D formula what? Sin C 2 into sin C plus D by 2. Okay. 1 minus x plus 1 plus x divided by 2 into sin D minus C by 2. Okay. Or C minus D by 2. Sin, not sin, this will be cos C minus D by 2 divided by 2. And they are divided by lambda d lambda 1 by pi from here we get what? Lambda 0 to infinity, and these two, here we get minus lambda x plus lambda x. Lambda x will be what? Cancelled. So we get sine twice lambda by 2. That means sine lambda. Okay. And from here minus lambda x minus lambda x minus 2 lambda x divided by 2. That means only cos minus 2 lambda x divided by 2 divided by what? Lambda. This equals to 1 by pi 0 to infinity zero to infinity 2 sine lambda cos minus theta equals to what? Cos theta. Therefore 2 divided by pi 0 to infinity here 2 by pi. Okay. 0 to infinity sine lambda cos lambda x divided by lambda. This is the required integration. Okay. Required integration of x equals to. Okay. This is the result. This is the result for us.
অনেকগুলো লাইনে কনফিউশন আছে।
So this f of x equals, this is the f of x equals to, okay, f of x equals to, now 0 to infinity sine lambda cos lambda x divided by lambda equals to what? Pi by 2 into f of x, right? Pi by 2 into f of x. So therefore 0 to infinity sine lambda cos lambda x divided by lambda equals to pi by 2 will be multiplied with what? F of x. That means there are two types of function, pi by 2 multiply 1 and pi by 2 multiply 0 when x less than 1 and when x greater than 1. Okay, this is the required value of this integral. And this is the function, this is the one result. This is the integral transform, Fourier transform of the given function. This is the Fourier transform of the given function, and this is the evaluation of this improper integral. Okay, this is the result. Now another example 2. Example 2. Find the Fourier sine integral for f of x equals to e to the power minus beta x, and hence show that pi by 2 into e to the power minus beta x equals to improper integral 0 to infinity lambda sine lambda x divided by beta square plus lambda square. and this integration will be with respect to lambda. So in previous example, we have to use the Fourier integral theorem, but here only sine integral, Fourier sine integral. So we have to use here the sine part only. We know the Fourier sine integral. We know Fourier sine integral for f of x if f of x equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinity sine ux du and minus infinity to plus infinity, sorry, 0 to infinity because 2 by pi f of t sine ut dt. Now replacing, this is the equation number 1. Replacing u by lambda, we get f of x equals to 2 by pi sine lambda x d lambda 0 to infinity f of t sine lambda t dt. This is equation number 2. Now putting the functional value f of x equals to e to the power minus beta x, we can write this equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinity 0 to infinity sine lambda x d lambda. Now integral limit will be what? 0 to infinity 0 to infinity, and this f of t means what? The given function. Just replacing h by t, we get what? E to the power minus beta t, not beta x, because the parameter we are using is t sine lambda t dt 2 by pi 0 to infinity sine lambda x d lambda. This integration can be written as we must know about a formula, a big formula. You must know about this formula. E to the power x sine bx dx formula, what will be? E to the power x sine bx dx. What will be the formula of this integration? E to the power x divided by a square plus b square a cos bx minus b cos ax. This is the integral formula for e to the power x sine bx dx. This will be e to the power x divided by a square plus b square within third bracket a cos bx minus b cos, what will be? B cos x. So here a equals to what? Minus beta, and b equals to what? Lambda. Okay. So e to the power x means minus beta x minus beta t divided by lambda square beta square plus lambda square bracket a cos a means what? Minus beta cos lambda t minus b means what? Lambda cos minus beta t. This equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinity sin lambda x d lambda. Now from here e to the power minus beta t by lambda square plus beta square minus beta cos lambda t minus lambda cos beta t. And limit will be what? 0 to infinity. Okay. Limit will be 0 to infinity. So if we put the value of upper limit here, e to the power minus infinity, e to the power minus infinity what? 1 by infinity. E to the power minus infinity means what? 1 by infinity. 1 by e to the power infinity. 1 by e to the power infinity means 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity means 0. This is why if we put the t equals to infinity here, we get e to the power minus infinity. E to the power minus infinity means what? 1 by e to the power infinity. 1 by infinity what? 0. This is why it becomes whole 0. So after this line, we can write 2 by pi 0 to infinity sine lambda x d lambda 0 plus just putting 0 t equals to 0, we get what? T equals to 0, e to the power 0 means what? 1. This is why and cos 0 equals to 1. Cos 0 equals to 1. Cos 0, this will be sine. Remember it, I have mistake. Sine bx, this will becomes, this is the sine bx formula. I've done a mistake here, sine. So sine 0 equals to 0 and cos 0 equals to what? 1. So minus lambda divided by lambda square plus beta square after putting 0 here. Okay, sine 0 equals to 0 and cos 0 equals to 1. This is why you get this one. So after this line, we can write f of x equals to 2 divided by pi. So x equals to 2 divided by pi, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity. And this will be minus because for our lower limit, we have to use minus minus, what will be plus. So lambda sine lambda x divided by square plus beta square d lambda. So this is the Fourier integral sun transform, which is the required Fourier integral sin transform. Now putting the f of x here, f of x equals to what? E to the power minus beta x. E to the power minus beta x equals to 2 divided by pi 0 to infinity lambda sin lambda x divided by lambda square plus beta square d lambda. Therefore, this integration will be can be written as 0 to infinity lambda sin lambda x divided by lambda square plus beta square d lambda equals to what will be pi by 2 e to the power minus beta. This means which is the required result should. Okay, this is the findings result. Remember it, e to the power a integration of e to the power x sin dx. Dx will be what? E to the power x divided by x square plus b square as sin bx minus b cos x. Just using this integration here and putting upper limit minus lower limit. Upper limit infinity, just t equals to infinity. If we take t equals to infinity, e to the power minus infinity, e to the power minus infinity means what? 1 by e to the power infinity. E to the power infinity means only infinity. 1 by infinity means what? 0. So this whole term after putting t equals to infinity we get 0. This is why 0 minus putting lower limit t equals to 0. T equals to 0 means what? E to the power 0 to 0 means what? 1. 1 divided by this. And sin 0, 0. But cos 0 equals to what? 1. This is why 1 into lambda minus lambda. Okay. So just multiplying this and this, we get this, the required result. So for example 3, using Fourier integral transform, show that 0 to infinity cos lambda x divided by 1 plus lambda square d lambda equals to pi by 2 e to the power minus x. E to the power minus x. Okay. So we know that the Fourier cosine transform, Fourier cosine integral for f of x will be what? This will become cos. Okay. Sorry, this will be cos ut dt. So you know that Fourier cosine integral for this f for the function f of x can be written f of x equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinity cos ux du 0 to infinity f of t cos ut dt. Now we have to now putting the value functional value here. Now replacing u by lambda 2 by pi 0 to infinity cos lambda x d lambda and 0 to infinity f of t equals to what? F of t cos lambda t dt. Okay, this is equation number 2. Just replacing u by lambda. Now f of x equals to what? E to the power minus x. Okay, considering function f of x equals to this, uh, if f of x equals to e to the power minus x, hello, ক্লাসে পরে কথা বলো। If f of x equals to e to the power minus x, then f 2 by pi 0 to infinity cos lambda x d lambda 0 to infinity F of t equals to what will be for f of x? F of t equals to what? E to the power minus t, because f of x equals to e to the power minus x cos lambda t dt. This equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinity cos lambda x d lambda. Now just using this formula cos e to the power x cos bx, formula what will be? Cos bx e to the power x divided by s square plus b square e to the power x. What will be the formula? A cos bx plus b sin x, a cos bx plus b sin bx. So e to the power minus 1 is equals to a and lambda equals to b. Just putting here e to the power minus t divided by minus 1 square plus lambda square. A means what? Minus 1 into cos lambda x plus b means what? Lambda sin x. A means what? Minus 1 into x. Okay. 0 to infinity.
Tahani.
0 to infinity cos lambda x d lambda. Now putting t equals to minus infinity, this will become 0. And after putting 0,
ওই দোকানে 7,000 টাকা আছে, ওই
cos
আপনার গুলো সহ মিলাই মারি দিন ব্যালেন্স 7,000 টাকা গুলো নিয়ে।
cos equals to 0. Cos 0 equals to cos equals to 0. So we get from here minus cos divided by minus minus plus 1
Guys,
cos
mute yourself.
1 plus lambda square. So using the same formula, e to the power x cos bx, e to the power x cos bx formula, what will be? E to the power x divided by s square plus b square, a cos bx plus b sin x. Just a equals to minus 1 and b equals to lambda. Putting a equals to minus 1 and b equals to lambda in this formula, in this integral formula, we get this. And putting upper limit e to the power minus infinity, e to the power minus infinity means what? 1 by e to the power infinity, 1 by infinity, 1 by infinity equals to 0. And putting t equals to 0, lower limit e to the power 0 means what? 1. E to the power 0 means 1. So 1 divided by this, but cos 0 equals to what? 1. And minus minus plus. So after this line, e to the power minus x equals to what will be? 2 by pi 0 to infinity 0 to infinity cos lambda x divided by 1 plus lambda square d lambda. So therefore 0 to infinity cos lambda x divided by 1 plus lambda square d lambda equals to what will be? Pi by 2 e to the power minus x. This is the should. This is the result just by using Fourier cosine integral transform for f of x. Very easy math. Hello. Now example 4, using Fourier integral transform, show that 0 to infinity cos x omega plus omega into sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega square with respect to d omega. And this is the improper integral 0 to infinity. This equals to piecewise function. This is the this will be the piecewise. If this equals to 0 if x less than 0 and pi by 2 if x equals to 0 and pi into e to the power minus x if x greater than 0. Actually, we have to use our previous two examples from previous examples. From example 3, we know a result 0 to infinity cos lambda x divided by 1 plus lambda square equals to pi by 2 e to the power minus x. Okay, so this is there are two part, one is cos part, another is sin part. So from example 3, we have proved this result. This is equation number 1. Now replacing lambda equals to omega, here we get 0 to infinity cos omega x divided by 1 plus omega square. This will be d lambda and this will become d omega equals to pi by 2 e to the power minus x. This is equation number 2. Again, from example 2, we have proved another result. In example 2, you must know the example 2 is what was 0 to infinity lambda sin lambda x divided by alpha square lambda square plus beta square d lambda equals to what was pi by 2 e to the power minus beta x. Okay, we have proved this result. This is from example 2, we have proved this result. Then this result is equal to what? This. So replacing here to get this one, omega sin omega x. Lambda equals to what? Omega and beta equals to what will be? To get this one, beta equals to 1 and beta equals to 1. We can write, we get what? 0 to infinity omega sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega square d omega equals to pi by 2 e to the power minus x, because beta equals to what? 1. This is equation number 4. Now adding equation 2 and 4. Okay, adding equation 2 and 4, we get 0 to infinity 0 to infinity cos omega 1 plus d omega plus 0 to infinity omega sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega square d omega equals to pi by 2 e to the power minus x plus pi by 2 e to the power minus x. Therefore, 0 to infinity cos omega x plus omega into sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega square d omega equals to pi e to the power minus x. Okay, this is the equation number 5, which is the actually required indefinite integral. According to the given function, there are three cases. One is for case 1. For case 1, if x less than 0, x less than 0, then replacing x equals to minus x in 5, 0 to infinity, 0 to infinity cos minus omega x plus omega into sine minus omega x, so omega x divided by 1 plus omega square d omega equals to what will be? This equals to, just subtracting we get, this equals to what will be? 0 to infinity cos omega x divided by 1 plus omega square d omega minus, because sine minus theta equals to what? Minus sine theta. Sine omega x divided by 1 plus omega square, 0 to infinity d omega. This equals to what? Pi by 2 e to the power minus x minus pi by 2 e to the power minus x by what? 1 by 2 and 4, by 2 and 4. So this equals to what? 0. Now for case 2, case 2 equals to p, if x equals to 0. So if x equals to 0 from 5, cos 0 equals to what? 1, and sine will be 0. So 1 divided by 1 plus omega square, and this equals to 1 by 1 plus omega square equals to what will be? 5 becomes what? 0 to infinity. If x equals to 0, then we get only 1 by 1 plus what? Omega square d omega. This equals to what? Pi by 2. Okay. Now for case 3, if x greater than 0, if x greater than 0, we get what? If x greater than 0, then we get 0 to infinity cos omega x 1 plus omega square plus 0 to infinity omega cos sine omega is divided by 1 plus d omega. There will be another d. So from where? 2 and 4. 2 and 4. So this equals to what? Pi by 2 plus pi by 2 e to the power minus x. This equals to pi e to the power minus x. Hence, for every cases, from all case 1, 2 and 3, we can write 0 to infinity cos omega x plus sin omega x divided by 1 plus omega equal to what will be 0 if x less than 0, pi by 2 if x equals to 0, and pi e to the power minus x if x greater than 0. This is the final result. Understand everybody? So to solve this improper integral domain, if this integration equals to 0 if x less than 0, and this integration equals to pi by 2 if x equals to 0, and this integration value will be pi into e to the power minus x if x greater than 0. So from example 3, you must know that cos lambda x divided by 1 plus lambda square equals to this result. From example 3, we solved this, we have proved this. So this is equation number 1, just replacing lambda equals to omega, we get this result, equation number 2. And from example 2, we got this result, and just after replacing lambda equals to omega and beta equals to 1, we get this one. So just using 2 and 4 equation, if we add adding equation 2 and 4, we get pi into e to the power minus x. Now there are 3 cases for this piecewise improper integration. So for example, for case 1, if x less than 0, then replacing x equals to minus x in equation 2 and 4, okay, or in equation 5. So from equation 5, just replacing x equals to minus omega, x equals to minus x, then we get these two part. So from 2 and by 2 and 4, just putting the values, we get 0, because sine minus theta equals to what? Minus sine theta. Okay, sine minus theta equals to what? Minus sine theta. This plus become minus. This is why 0. Now for another case 2, if x equals to 0, then what are the value of this integration? After adding, we got this. So just putting x equals to 0 here, we get cos 0 equals to 1. Okay, cos 0 equals to 1 and sin 0 equals to 0. This is why 1 by 1 plus omega square. And integration of this must be what? Pi by 2, because 1 by 1 plus x square formula what? Sin inverse x. So sin inverse x means what? Sin inverse omega. Okay, 0 to infinity. Now just putting, sorry, this will be sin not, tan inverse omega. Okay, tan inverse omega. Now putting upper limit, tan inverse infinity equals to what? Pi by 2, but tan inverse 0 equals to 0. So this for case 2, we got pi by 2 integral limit. Now another case 3, for x greater than 0, just adding 2 and 3, we get the required result. Very easy. If we can solve this example 2 and example 3 from this lecture, previous examples we have to use. Okay. Okay, bye for today. Best wishes for you.
Yes, sir.